You can leave us text or voicemails, all right? So give us a call at 651-300-2129. That is 651-300-2129. We want to hear from you.
Are those them 10 boys?
Nope.
Good morning.
Thank you for watching.
10K TV.
All right, welcome back to another episode of 10K TV presented by 10,000 Takes. My name is Bossman, joined by Sarge and Samuel Stats. 10K Bets, kind of our golf betting statistician, Sammy. I'm sorry you had to get up at 8 a.m. We were out at a good little place in Minneapolis by the stadium off the rails for the Vikings game because the tickets were $300 to get into the upper. It was like $200.
Yeah.
Plus
for
fees.
Nosebleeds. For nosebleeds on a Monday night against Chicago Bears. Mm-hmm. You only get to watch one good football team play. You basically might as well cut that price in half.
Yeah, the ticket prices were shockingly high, but also like it wasn't the worst thing. I think we had a good night. They say the best seat in the house is a seat right in front of the TV. So
with a short bathroom line and cheaper drinks.
It could have been worse.
And from what I saw in the story, free shots for every touchdown or every score.
Great babe shots, too. Every touchdown. I don't think field goals counted.
And they like didn't forget either. They're like coming right through every time. It's like, oh, that's right.
That drunk chick sitting next to us, though, like kept punching my shoulder and being like, where's my shot? And I'm like, I don't work here.
Yeah. Bitch, shut your mouth.
Leave me alone. Oh, the other funny thing was at one point, two guys just started playing catch with a football across the bar.
Which was a disaster.
You've been forgetting your Swiss jeans?
Yeah, I've been, damn it. That's on me.
You got to pay attention, Sarge. You got to be sharp.
I need my glasses on.
There were two guys across the bar playing catch with a football. And it ended the exact way you think. Like one of the passes was underthrown and it knocked over a ton of drinks.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The bouncer like watched it happen. That was he was like standing there. I think he even maybe threw a pass or something. I mean, it's a fun idea and thought, but it ended the exact way.
It seemed like they really didn't care what was happening.
No. That's why it's a great place. But anyway, so Vikings beat the Bears 30-12. The winter whiteout game was sick.
It looked so awesome, dude. Especially from the best seat in the house, my mommy and daddy's couch. It looked awesome. I wish I would have gone, but I don't think I would have paid that much to go see.
No, which is why you got to go to a great place like Off the Rails to watch it because, like we already mentioned, short lines, cheap drinks, free shots. You can watch two people play catch, and plenty of TVs, great food.
The other nice part about that game was really from the start, we pretty much dominated, which is a nice touch because, as a Minnesota Vikings fan, just a Minnesota sports fan in general, it seems like it's never easy.
And that was the trappiest game.
Oh, yeah, and the fact that we took the lead quick, we got that huge fourth down stop on the Bears' first drive, which I couldn't believe they didn't punt that right away. But then we go down, we get 3, and then we end up getting 7 a little later in the quarter. It was just nice to get off to that start. It was, especially, I was at the first Bears game, and it's like we're up 11 points with a minute and whatever left, and we somehow like are taking it to overtime after a collapse. So it was nice to get a lead, hold the lead, and just kind of put the foot on the gas.
Well, in that game, that first game was against the Bears, who had a coach who was intentionally losing games, I think. That's how bad he was at coaching.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, anyone else at head coach, if they play that well again, we're going to lose.
100%.
I also got to point out, too, with the winter whiteout jersey or game, they did go all out for it. I think I do understand why the ticket was so expensive because they gave out these really cool, hankies that had the Vikings white jerseys. They rolled out the new uniforms. The white helmets were awesome. The white uniforms were sweet. Obviously, they painted the field differently. The center logo was all white. Thankfully, the end zones were purple.
Yeah.
Remember that last few years?
No, I don't.
2 years ago. Well, actually, it was 2 years ago. They painted it was the Christmas Eve game. Was it the first whiteout game? No, it was like a week before Christmas, 2 years
We have a
ago.
whiteout game for the playoffs against the Giants.
This was a couple weeks before that.
Okay.
These were both Daniel Jones legacy games, which is somehow why he's on our team now.
Dude, 3-0 with Daniel Jones.
True,
Just
people
put
weren't
that
talking
together.
about it.
It's a 3-0 quarterback.
But during one of those games, they did. That's true. They did. They painted the end zone white, and then they put a small little gap between the out of bounds line and where they painted it. And Hawkinson easily had a touchdown, but they didn't call it a touchdown because it was impossible. And he was wearing white cleats, so it was impossible to see where anyone was stepping out of bounds. So they learned their lesson with that. I also want to point out too, Joe Mauer blew the Gallahorn.
It was over right then and there.
Yeah, I think that was really where we sold it. And then finally Vanilla Ice played at halftime, which is really
Dude,
random.
okay. Let me just say this. That is just the most Minnesota thing ever, bringing someone who hasn't been relevant in literally 30 years to play at a halftime show. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, what what was that?
That probably
dude?
fucking rocked though.
You know what? It probably did. But, all right,
Doon, 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 doon.
name another song by Vanilla Ice. Just one.
I don't know.
Ice Ice Baby, that's it.
Ice Ice Baby. I didn't realize this too.
That's the thing. And Ninja Rap's another one.
What?
Ninja Rap.
Oh, that's
That's
the
another
song?
one. It's on the best hits of Vanilla Ice. I looked it up on the way here.
Do they typically have halftime shows? Like,
They do
or
for
is this-
primetime games.
Was this,
it
yeah,
seems
just
like,
because it was a Monday night?
Normally they kind of have a rotation of like T-Pain. Who else? Who else played last year? It was like another like 90s rapper, early 2000s guy.
Son of a bitch.
I feel
People
like
are literally like, "You idiots! How can you not remember?"
I know.
listening to this right now.
I feel like we're on track to have the next halftime show be played by the Black Eyed Peas. I feel like that's where we're heading.
Can you meet me halfway? Some of that.
Yeah.
oh my god, that's so good.
Yeah. And then finally, in the spirit of the winter whiteout, the Rolling Rocket performed his jump wearing all white, which was very well done.
Okay, but did you see his video he posted before when he was on like a 10-story building?
I did.
Okay, I was like, Rolling Rocket, I know you're indestructible, but
Don't do that.
please don't do that. We need you. We need you. That was, but then he said the first comment was like,
He was teasing us.
Yes,
He was giving us blue balls.
yes. Thank God, Rolling Rocket, you're an animal. But keep it to the nice 1 to 2 stories
Yes.
of jumping.
So yeah, we mentioned the Vikes played really well. Now Bears fans are they're really going through it. As if they weren't already going through it, they're going through it even more. And to give you a better idea of how bad they're going through it, we're just gonna get the firsthand account. So this is our good friend Barstool Chief, who is part of Barstool Chicago. Let's just go through his tweets throughout the game.
These are awesome.
So it starts with a video of the skull chant, and he says, "About to get skull fucked." New goal. Caleb walks out of this game. Trying to change my flight to halftime. DJ Moore is our lead back now. Thankful for you, NFFC, which is a Premier League club, right, Forrest?
Yep.
Gonna ask Vrabel if he wants a job. This guy sitting 2 rows in front of him actually looks exactly like Mike Vrabel, which is pretty funny.
Totally.
Only here for the Vanilla Ice halftime show, which we just talked about. No dancing after sacks when you're down 10 and are 4-9 on the season. New team rule, please. They were doing that shit all game. How about in the first quarter when they were down 10-0, they get a sack, they all run to the end zone, or maybe they stopped us on 4th and 1, and they all start doing the skull chant.
just the kiss of death.
Yeah, it's
forget
it's a
what-
tough look for sure. I mean, you want to like try to have some fun out there when your team is just a disaster, but also it's like you got to be like at least winning the game to do something like
Yeah.
that. Like,
Let's keep going through the Chiefs' tweets. So only here for the Vanilla Ice halftime show. He quote tweets that with a video of this thing that says C- Ice. So he must not have been too proud of his performance. Kyle Gordon is good. Let's make a 2-score game a 2-score game.
Yeah, that's when they kicked the field goal.
Yeah, that's right.
Just I don't know. I don't.
very appreciated for the teaser number, which was 37.
Ooh,
which
there
is
you
what
go.
I had, and I needed
time.
every point I could get, so that field goal was greatly appreciated.
Good thing Kyron has a degree from Yale.
Dude, that was number 72 who
Yeah.
had One of the worst games you can have.
Bad
lineman?
game.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah, keep going.
The locals are pumped to be in an Eddie video. It's the guys right in front of them who are just pumped that they were in Eddie's pretzel review video. Remember when the Bears were 4-2? And then this is just a video of Vikings fans cheering after the game, and he just says, "I hate it here." And then it's a picture of Caleb Williams deceased on the field, the 2024 Bears.
All-time pick, dude.
This gets better. I've reached the point where I'm ready to fire Ryan Poles.
So that's your GM.
Yeah. Vikings game experience is light years better than the Colts, which is kind of a stray to me at the same time. Colts were Mickey Mouse. Feel like a midweek NBA atmosphere. Vikings is cool. Would be sweet to have season tickets here. Cut Keenan. Yay. It's a picture of the George McCaskey that says sell the team. I think that was pretty much it. For us, at least, you're now tied with the Lions. I mean, they have the tiebreaker, but you are now tied for the lead of the NFC North. You are tied, losing a tiebreaker to Philly for the first seed in the NFC, which is crazy.
Wait, we are? I thought we did have it.
No, I think they have a
I
bigger
think
strength
it's
of
got
victory.
something of that nature. I think we're just one game behind, obviously, and hope that they lose a game down the stretch.
Who does Philly have the rest of the year?
Let me check.
I got it. Because if we win out, then we win the NFC North. And because we will beat the Lions, right?
Yep. We have to win out
better record.
to win the NFC North, but there's a chance that we
Okay.
do that and still do not get the 1 seed.
So, boys, we are big Commanders fans this Sunday. Because the Eagles have the Commanders, the Cowboys, and the Giants.
So they're not
They're not beating the Cowboys.
Commanders
they're not
are
losing to the Cowboys.
probably
and Giants.
only chance on that front. Yeah, I mean they're gonna kill the Giants and they're gonna probably kill Dallas, or I mean they're gonna beat Dallas.
Cooper Rush is gonna be like, "Here we go."
But even both of those, you say, oh well, both of those are division games, but it's like, but those two teams are so bad.
Yeah.
Where I don't even think it matters.
Cowboys are looking better, but
They are,
I don't
and
trust.
honestly, I give props to Cooper Rush. He's a serviceable backup, and he's actually been looking decent for a backup. But even then, it's just like not enough.
You basically need Micah Parsons to
The defense has
murder
to, for
to
sure.
like literally kill Jalen Hurts and take him out of the game or something. I don't know how else you're going to win that. But the Commanders, you never know. So yeah, the Vikings control their own destiny. If they win out, they have a decent chance of taking the NFC and getting the first seed bye. Have they ever gotten that bye? Maybe like 98?
No. Well, yes, they got 98, but they
Is that the last time?
No.
What about the Favre?
Favre year?
Was that?
I know we did in when we lost the Eagles in the NFC Championship because we went 13-3 with Case Keenum and for sure got the number 1 seed. I remember that because I remember I thought we were going to win the Super Bowl that year. Like,
Wait, but if we
legitimately.
would have gotten the first seed, wouldn't we have been at home against the Eagles? We were on the road against the Eagles, and they.
Yeah, I don't think we had the
and
first
they
I don't know
crushed
shit.
us.
Here's a funny thing. We got Seattle next week. We had a gentleman at the tailgate yesterday ask us a funny question. Do you know? So it sounds like Geno Smith is going to be out for a little while. So their backup, I can't remember who.
Sam Howell.
Sam Howell. Okay. Do you know who his backup is? Former Viking.
Dig deep.
Whoa.
So
Hell yeah, you were there,
Seattle's third string,
You guess who it is?
former Viking.
Former Viking quarterback, a recent former Viking.
I go down that this quarterback is like maybe the worst quarterback.
Well, outside of one drive.
Yeah, outside of one drive.
Dude, I don't even have a clue.
He was a Viking.
about
what,
it.
just last year?
One drive. He had one really good drive.
Jaron Hall?
Yeah, Jaron Hall. Jaron Hall's their third string QB. I kind of want to see him. I kind of want to see him play and have like a revenge game, but have it just be a total
I would love
disaster.
Jaron Hall to start. I think we would be like
Me too,
we would be
stats.
like
50.
minus 7,000 on the money line. It would be awesome. No. Howell's honestly, like, he led the league in interceptions last year for the Commanders, but, like, he also had some games where he was throwing for 400 yards.
He's fun.
And 3 touchdowns. So, like, he definitely has it in him to, like, have a good game. But he got thrown into that Packers game, and you could tell. It was like, I don't know what I'm doing. But, you know, he'll have a week or, a week to prepare. A little more just because they were the Thursday night game, and they'll. I'm sure he'll look definitely better than what he was doing against the Packers. But I still think, like, anytime you go on the road, and Seattle feels like a place that we just don't have success in. I'm not sure if that's accurate, but
Or you're thinking back to the Blair Walsh kick.
yeah,
Well, that was here.
That was here, but that was Seattle.
Seattle, it seems like
Our
a tough
colors
place
don't
to
mix.
play.
Our colors don't mix. They don't
You
run.
definitely cannot just, like, chalk this up as a win. I'm sure we'll probably be a slight favorite, but it would be like maybe 4 or 5 points and super trappy.
They're also battling for their playoffs.
I know it's like not a
Battling
fun
for the
game
1
us.
seed and battling to get in are 2 different types of battling.
Yeah, it's gonna be scary. I think the first half will tell us everything.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, we talked about KOC, but how about his partner in crime, Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah? Ready for this stat? So
Yes.
just a friend, and good thing journalist Jake's not here because he would probably somehow discredit all of this. I don't know how, but just a friendly reminder that Kwesi signed these free agents for nearly the same cap hit as Kirk Cousins. Ready? So this cap hit is a total of $25.1 million. Grenard, 5.7. Van Ginkel, 3.4. Cashman, 3.1. Jones, 3.5. Darnold, 5. Griffin, 4.4. Cousins cap hit, $25 million. Same exact number.
Dude, hats off.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I'll
take my hat off, too, for
every
that.
single
that one.
Every single one of those guys have made a massive impact.
I mean,
on
does
a team.
Kwesi win Executive of the Year award? Is he the best?
That's an award?
I think so.
I have no idea, but
saw someone tweet executive
if it
of the
is,
year.
he should. I think what he's doing or what he did with that is, like, I mean, it'd be nice to hit on a couple of those guys, like maybe 1 or 2, like studs, but all 5 of them or 6 of them are, like, making a huge impact to the team.
Huge,
Obviously,
dude.
you have Darnold, who is a 12-2 quarterback, and he has, for the most part, played damn good all year. But then you throw in Cashman, Grenard, Van Ginkel. I mean, it's like every single guy is playing a
Massive.
significant role in this team.
Every single guy is a guy.
Yeah, so
Maybe not the guy.
no, you
Oh, a
throw them
couple
all
of them are
together
the
in
guy.
the defense, though. Cashman, I
Cashman's the
think
guy.
in my opinion, he is the heart and soul of the defense.
Yeah, he's the
I
guy.
mean, you can say Harry Hitman, you can say, another guy, but he is unbelievable.
And then we had an opportunity yesterday to once again get Rijkaard.
Yes.
Oh,
Shout
so
out.
great to have him
Good to
back.
have Willie back.
When he comes in, I know we get that turnover right away, and we go 3 and out. We had a bad like first drive, and it's like, oh, no problem. We have Will. He's gonna come in and hit this 52-yarder, fresh off the IR, like no problem.
Right down the fucking middle.
Right
baby.
down the middle. It's like the fact that we have that back where we can just we can throw him in, and I feel pretty damn good about the kick. That makes a huge difference going forward.
Sarge just cracked a beer at
Yeah.
109.
Dude, I can't have a beer in front of me and not crack it. This is. I don't know what that says about me.
Time to have a conversation.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, last thing I'm going to say on the Vikings. On December 12th, we remembered the 14-year anniversary since the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome collapsed.
So embarrassing, dude. That was insanely embarrassing. I remember that so well.
Something more, even more entertaining than the event itself were the comments on X.com about the incident itself. They ranged anywhere from including that it was an inside job, which I don't know how you just
They had guys just shoveling snow on top of it.
like that. I also saw a comment that said this was basically our 9/11. So that's a tough comparison.
Yeah, very.
Yeah, dude, the Metrodome was a pile of shit. We talk about it all the time, but it was our pile of shit. I also saw a great tweet yesterday that said this would have been a perfect addition for the winter whiteout game, and it was that big ass milk jug that was in like right field.
Dude, the Land O'Lakes
Land
milk
O'Lakes
Land
jug.
O'Lakes
jug.
milk jug.
Oh my god.
They should. You know how Land O'Lakes and U.S. Bank Stadium has that big white banner in the corner?
Yes.
They should get rid of that and hang the milk jug from there. Dude. As long as they don't block anyone's
I think in a
view.
perfect world, if it was possible, obviously it's not possible, but I would have loved to like play one game there this season. Like if it was still like just with our
Back in time.
atmosphere and our team and in there, I think it'd be sick.
Dude, that stadium was so loud that when I'd go there as a kid, like I'd start crying pretty much because the fireworks would go off, and I was like,
Dude.
I was so sensitive to all the sounds, and they'd play "Welcome to the Jungle."
Dude.
There'd be fights happening already.
Okay, I was gonna say, and I think people drank way harder.
For sure.
I remember going to a game with my dad, and we sat next to a guy who fell down the stairs.
Steep stairs too.
Steep stairs,
Oh, yeah.
but like he was so fucked up. Like I'll never forget it. I'm like, dude, that guy is going hard.
Oh,
He was the guy that like the skullet, so he was bald on top and then just super long hair, kind of like who was the original Vikings guy? Not
Ragnar.
yes, it might have been him. Who knows?
When I think about Ragnar, I think of the Metrodome. He'd ride that motorcycle in there.
Dude, that was so badass. I want him back.
I know. Well, he out negotiated himself out of a job. I think he wanted like a couple $1 million a year.
Probably. It's like I'm the highlight of the show here.
Yeah, I mean, shoot for the stars, man, but you got to have some sort of realistic
As a kid,
expectation.
as a child, also going to Vikings games, as if the sounds and the fireworks weren't scary enough, Ragnar was also scary.
Dude.
I mean, it was cool, but like, I get why they're like, you know what, maybe let's switch to Victor, like a more kid-friendly mascot,
Yeah.
and not this guy who looks like he could literally kill everyone in the stadium.
Dude, he's got a butterfly knife in his pocket, I guarantee.
Yeah.
Oh, he had a
It-
switchblade.
yeah, switchblade. He probably he had the chain wallet, but instead of his wallet, it's to his fucking knife.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely ripped cigs before and after the game.
Dude, in the tunnel.
In the tunnel.
Yeah.
Probably came out in at least a few of those games with a cigarette, and they're like, hey, man, you can't do that. God, I miss Ragnar. Bring him back.
Bring him back.
Bring him
dude.
back. Maybe try to renegotiate something. Even if he just rides out of the tunnel. It is cool when Victor rides out on the four-wheeler because it's presented by Polaris.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but
It's not the
not
same
the
as
same.
Ragnar on a fucking
Right.
Harley. as if the medieval time Vikings ever rode fucking motorcycles. Like at least put like a boat around the motorcycle
Yeah,
to make it look like it's a makeshift shift. It was just a fucking Harley.
badass. And dude, I'm pretty sure he hunted that animal, that fur. Like, you know.
Oh,
that fur
yeah.
vest.
Oh, right.
He
That's
made
right.
that.
He
Yeah.
made that with his hands.
That was-
nothing
That
else.
was homemade in his
basement.
in his kitchen.
He's a fucking taxidermist.
I think he's someone confirm. I think he's like a school teacher in the Iron Range now. I think that's what he's doing.
Wow, what
Someone
a
told me about
tale
that.
of two lives.
Dude, we need to get him on.
I know.
We should get him on.
I know. We need to get if you know Ragnar, if
That'd
you
be
know
a 2-hour
if you know who he is, we want to talk to him.
Yeah.
But all right, let's take a quick commercial break and we'll get into it with the Wild. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do not know us 10,000 Takes, we have our own beer. It's pretty damn cool, isn't it? We partnered with Elm Creek Brewing to brew this delicious drink, Captain's Patch. It is a raspberry lemon shandy. And if you go to captainspatch.com, you plug in your zip code, you can find out all the places near you where it's sold at. And if you're a big Wild fan or you go to a concert or PWHL Frost, you can go to the XL Energy Center in section 105, 113, and also C13 if you're a fancy pants on the club level. So captainspatch.com. You can get it at Burger Mo's if you're down in downtown St. Paul. You can get it at a lot of different liquor stores across the state of Minnesota. And guess what? If you plug in your zip code and it's not there yet, bug the shit out of us. I know we're trying to get it in Mankato. We're trying to get it more up north. We're really trying to push to get it in more places, so we need your help to do it. Tell your local liquor store to get Captain's Patch. All right, Minnesota Wild, 1 point behind the Jets since recording last. They've gone 2-2. They got their ass beat by the Oilers, which I think it needed to happen.
100%.
I think it needed to happen. I don't know why. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to get your ass kicked to bring you back to earth. And
Well, that was the thing. Like we hadn't had a game like that really. I mean, maybe one versus the Kings. Maybe that was like 4-1, but this was an ass kicking, and really from the start. And it just shows. I think obviously the boys in the locker room know this, but it shows that if you take penalties, especially with how poor the penalty kill has been recently.
Is it the worst in the league?
It's
28th, I think.
It's very bad. It's
great.
one of the worst. And you just can't take penalties against Edmonton of all teams. I mean, it's like oh, okay, it's a goal. It's immediately a goal.
especially, you have Draisaitl on one side, you have McDavid on the
Yeah.
other. It's like,
Hyman,
take
you
the
name
wheel.
it. So I think this was good for the team. I think, listen, you can't play 81, 82
games, yeah.
fantastic hockey games. Like,
No.
that's just not how it works. And with how the boys started the season, I mean, we can afford to give up some losses. Like, every team goes through a cold streak. I mean, Winnipeg started the season 16-2 or something crazy.
And then they lost like
And then they
7
start-
straight.
yeah, so
as long as you don't go on losing streaks, you're going to be fine.
Yeah,
If you lose some here
exactly. So it's not a big deal. And again, like you said, I think it's good that they got their ass kicked, and it just kind of shows, emphasizes a little more about what needs to happen, what you can work on, things like that. But we're so early in the season. I mean, we're not. Are we just over a fourth? Maybe like almost closer to a half, but kind of in the middle there.
Yeah.
And we're also just banged up.
Yeah.
We have so many guys banged up, and
who's
so
all
it
hurt?
just
Who's all hurt?
happens.
So I believe currently now. So good news is Brodin came back, which they were a little worried about him. He really fucked up his back, and then he had
back
like
is
a
bad.
cortisol shot and a cortisone shot, and that I think that helped because he's looked fine. He's obviously probably not 100%, but he's playing again. Zuccarello's testicles healed up, so he is back. And he had a sick pass to Kirill
He had a really good
on
first
Sunday
game.
against the
I think
the,
he had
the
2
Golden
assists.
Knights. Yeah.
Which was an awesome way coming back. And then I think Eck is still hurt,
Ek is still hurt. Lauko's hurt again. He came
yep.
back for a game and then got hurt again.
and then Middleton's hurt.
Middleton's
So,
hurt. Yep.
we definitely have kind of a longer injury list.
Well, and
but
Gustafson's
and
hurt
now
too.
Gus is
Which
hurt.
that was
so
a weird one because
that is weird.
He got pulled against Edmonton because he was just getting shelled and
Yeah.
they threw in Fleury, and then you just assumed it was because he's not playing well, we're getting shelled, let's at least just sit him.
He's
for the rest
also
of the game.
been worked like a workhorse.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
He's been the number one
He's
for
been
sure.
the number one guy. I mean, I think he had a span of like 6 or 7 or 8 games in a row where he was starting, and so it was nice to get Fleury in there. I mean, we're gonna really have to depend on him, throughout the year because obviously Gus can't play every game. And it was nice to see Wallstead make.
Yeah, he
make
played
his
all right
debut.
on Sunday.
I think he had 24 saves on 27 shots. It was a good debut. I mean, you can't. Ask for a whole lot more. He didn't get shelled. He gave up 3 goals. He had 24.
And none of them were soft. One of them was soft. I
Yeah.
think the third one
One didn't
trickled
look
through him,
great.
but the other 2 were just really good shots.
So
in the slot.
yeah, I think they'll be fine. And one thing I will say is I'm glad that we're having injuries this early in the season because if you had this by like game 74 or something, and you're just in the thick of a playoff hunt, spot, and you are just battled with injuries, it's a lot harder. So the fact that we got off to a great start and now we're having some injuries, like we can kind of afford to, drop some games here and there while guys are banged up.
It's just it's funny. I saw a quote from John Hines where he was like, I think he asked the media when they were like, "Yeah, so how about all these injuries?" Basically, and he was like, "Yeah, is it always this bad?"
Yeah.
And the media was like, "Yeah, it's like always been this bad."
Yeah.
Like I feel like ever since I was a kid, half this team has been hurt. How big of a fucking nail gun is Marcus Foligno right now, though?
Mm-hmm.
In the same game on Sunday night or on Sunday against the Knights, he takes a puck to the face. I think the puck slid up and hit his mask, and there was so much pressure from his mask against his head that it gave him a pretty good gash. And then I think it was in the same period he fought someone.
And knocked him the fuck out.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So
Badass motherfucker.
yeah, he's. I think that guy has some similar qualities to the Rolling Rocket. I think he's just intolerable to pain. All right, let's end this segment by talking. It's Christmas time. What do you guys want for Christmas in terms of the Wild, Sarge?
Okay. It's not necessarily terms of the Wild, but I want you guys who are going to the Wild games to just keep buying Captain's Patch and taking us in. Like, that is so cool. Section 105, C13.
C13, 105, 113, Burger Mo's.
Yeah, Bergamo, all those places, guys. Literally, I can't thank you guys enough for doing that. So keep doing that.
Sammy Stats, what do you want for Christmas for the Wild?
I kind of just touched on it a little bit, but I would love to go out at the deadline and get a goal scorer. Get a guy like, I don't know, TJ Oshie or somebody of that caliber that can score, but like he's not going to cost you a lot because he's older in his career. And, similar to the moves that like the Rangers made at the deadline for Patty Kane, like getting a guy that can score, but he's old and it's not like you're going to have to re-sign him for 5 years or whatever.
Only the Capitals weren't so good, then we could get a player on
I
their
know.
team. But
I know. So that would be my wish. Obviously, it's one that I don't think is needed, but it sure would help. It would like just kind of add another layer to this offense of the Wild. And I think obviously if you can get a guy like that in the playoffs, it can make a big difference.
All right, Bossman, what do you want for Christmas from the Wild?
Outside of the Stanley Cup, I think fucking obvious answer. I would just love if players would stop getting hurt. Not their fault, the way the game goes. It just sucks that every year this team just catches the injury bug. A positive spin, like you said, Sammy Stats, is that they're getting it out of the way now. But it just, if this is going to be another year where, we've seen what the potential of this team can be, and it just continues to be riddled with injuries, and we can't hit our potential, then it just sucks. So I hope they can find a way to stay healthy going down the stretch. It's great to see that they have good depth. Like, I feel like last year when everyone got hurt, we couldn't win games. And this year when everyone gets hurt, we're bringing up more experienced guys, not just AHLers every time. We're bringing up guys who have played 30, 40 games in the NHL. Yeah. Maybe some of them have played over 100, which is great. If we can stay healthy, and I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to not get hit in the balls by pucks or tear groins
Take
or
an elbow to the face.
or destroy your back.
Part of the game.
As someone who gets hurt a lot on my own, doing way less athletic things, I'm not the guy to answer that question. But this is a really special group of guys, all the way starting from Billy G to the coaching staff to the players, and it makes you want to root for them even more. I just want to see them make a run. A cup would be great, but
I think the players really like Hines too. I think
that's just everything. Everything is clicking.
This is like his first full year with the team, and I think the players have bought into his philosophy, and I think he's a pretty damn good coach. I think definitely it'll be fun to have him here. Hopefully for until it goes south, but.
All right, final segment. We're going to talk about the Wolves. There's not a lot of buzz around them, it feels like, at least just in our world. But they've quietly won 6 of their last 7 games.
I like that.
Are they back?
They are back. They're back. Actually, since Thanksgiving, they are leading defensive categories. I believe there's 5 of them, and I think they are first in all 5. First in opponent field goal percentage, first in opponent turnover rate, first in opponent paint points, first in opponent paint field goal percentage, and first in opponent 3-point field goal percentage.
And
so this is just defensive stats that's showing that
what are paint points?
It's just inside the paint. Like
paint points.
Yeah,
they said pain points.
No, paint points.
Does that mean we're good at pressing on behind their ears and under their nostrils?
So we've been really good since Thanksgiving. That's partly the reason why we've been having more success. And also, I think Anthony Edwards came out publicly and was like, we're soft, we're not playing good. This team has to get a lot tougher. Like this won't fly. And they've came out and kind of been the team that we all thought they would be from the jump. And it's exciting. We have the Cat return game coming up on Thursday. Yeah. And so it'll be nice. I hope we give him a nice tribute. We drafted him so many years ago, #1 overall. He stuck with our team.
Through some tough years.
Tough years. Some years that nobody watched. So
years where if you bought a DiGiorno pizza, you got free tickets.
Yeah.
Some of those years.
It was bad years. And so I hope I hope we give him a lot of round of applause, and hopefully there's no boos like there was in the Kirk Cousins situation.
Yeah, you mentioned how Ant called out the team, and they've basically been winning since that. Mm-hmm. How would you like to be called out by a 22-year-old at your job?
Well, it's one of those things where the fact that he is so good, he is our superstar. He's the best player on the court pretty much every night. He wants to win more than anybody, and if he's calling you out, you better listen to him.
Someone needs to call him out for eating too much Popeyes again, because last time that happened, we made it to the Western Conference Finals. Everyone, Cat was like, he's been eating too much Popeyes.
Yeah, but he's 22. You can do that when you're that young.
Can.
You can get away with a lot of shit.
His workouts and everything,
dude.
He's got to be just sweating hundreds of calories out every time he hits that court. And so it's you want to eat fucking Popeyes? Go eat Popeyes. I don't care. As long as you keep scoring 28 a game, eat whatever you want.
The only thing else I wanted to bring up about the Wolves, did you see that there's a possible expansion to Mexico City for the NBA they're looking at? Where would you guys say would be the worst place the NBA could possibly expand in North America?
I mean, are you talking about just logistically? I think anywhere,
whatever,
anywhere in Europe would be a nightmare.
Yeah, no, I'm talking strictly North America.
Dude, we don't know continents.
I've specified that 3 times.
3 times on the North America?
Yes, North America. I have a great answer, but I want to hear what you guys have to say.
Fuck, dude, you caught me off guard. I mean, first thing that comes to mind is Alaska.
Yeah.
That would be brutal.
I was going to say Edmonton. I'm sorry, guys. We don't know ball. We don't know basketball. No,
Stats
the
does.
Timberwolves they're fun. I think they're
fun.
They're sneaky fun right now. They're not blowing teams out. They're not even putting up a lot of points, but
no, they're just holding teams to under 90. They're playing good defense. They are winning when they're supposed to be winning, and they're playing good basketball. It's early in the season, so it won't really ramp up until another couple of months, but it will hopefully be a similar playoff team as last year, and that's all we can hope for.
Yep.
And then if you look at the standings, we're right in it.
Yeah.
We're fine. We're just all up in arms.
It's
right
all
now.
clunched together too. I mean, if you win 3 more games in a row, you jump from 7th to 1st.
Folks, that does it for another episode of 10K TV. Thank you so much for listening or watching. Make sure to follow us on all socials at 10K Takes. Make sure to read our blogs, 10ktakesmn.com, and drink Captain's Patch.
Yeah, buy Captain's Patch.
CaptainsPatch.com. Get it at the XL Energy sections. XL Energy Center sections 105, 113, C13. Otherwise, folks, we appreciate you guys listening and supporting us as always, and we will see you next week.